The delay you are experiencing is not a denial. It's preparation. Every challenge, every obstacle, every waiting period is shaping you into someone who is capable of receiving more than you ever imagined. God's plans exceed our expectations because He is preparing us to handle them with wisdom, gratitude, and faith. Sometimes, breakthroughs come in ways that are so unexpected that we almost don't recognize them. You may be looking for a financial breakthrough in one area of your life, but God may bring provision in another area that turns out to be even more life-changing. You may be praying for healing or restoration, and God may bring people, resources, or opportunities that restore not just one area of your life, but your entire spirit. When we focus too narrowly on our own expectations, we miss the abundance that God has in store for us. And let me encourage you today, don't underestimate God. Don't limit Him by your imagination. Don't put Him in a box by what you think is possible. God is bigger than your circumstances, bigger than your challenges, bigger than your doubts, and even bigger than your prayers. He is already working behind the scenes, preparing the breakthrough, the favor, and the blessings that will exceed anything you could have asked for or imagined. Here's another truth. Sometimes, the very things we think are setbacks are actually setups for God's best. Maybe you didn't get the promotion. Maybe the relationship ended. Maybe the finances didn't come through. But these are not the end of your story. These are the stepping stones to something greater. God's plans exceed our expectations because He sees the whole story from beginning to end. And He knows exactly what we need to reach the life He has promised us. So as you continue to pray, as you continue to hope, and as you continue to wait, remember this: God's plans are bigger than anything you can imagine. What you see now, what you think you need, is just the beginning. God has something better coming for you. Something that will surpass your dreams, exceed your expectations, and amaze you in ways you never thought possible. The key is to trust Him, to believe Him, and to keep your heart open. God's plan is always bigger. His plan is always better. And His plan is already on its way. So today, if you've been feeling discouraged because your prayers haven't been answered exactly the way you wanted, take heart. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. God is not only listening to your prayers, He is preparing something that will far exceed what you ever imagined. Keep believing. Amen. Keep trusting. Keep expecting. Because the God who knows you, who loves you, and who has a plan for your life is about to do something so amazing, so powerful, and so unexpected that it will leave you completely in awe. Remember, your breakthrough is not just coming in a way that surpasses your expectations. So hold on to your faith, trust in His timing, and get ready for the blessings that are already on their way. One of the most exciting truths about God is that breakthroughs don't always come the way we expect. Sometimes we're praying and believing for something in a very specific way. We think it has to happen on a certain schedule, in a particular place, or through a particular person. But God has a way of surprising us. He doesn't always work through the plans we make or the paths we envision. Sometimes the doors we are praying for remain closed and we feel frustrated. But in reality, God is redirecting us to a path that will lead to something far better than we imagine. Think about it. How many times in your life have things not gone according to plan, only for something better to happen? Maybe you didn't get the promotion you wanted, but another opportunity came that changed the course of your life. Maybe a relationship ended and at first broke your heart. But later, you realized God was making room for someone who was truly right for you. Sometimes what we see as disappointment is actually a divine detour that leads us exactly where we need to be. Breakthroughs often come from directions we never expected, because God knows what we need, even when we don't. God is a master at using the unexpected to His advantage. He might send someone into your life that you would have never noticed before. He might open a door that seems small at first, but ends up leading to a life-changing opportunity. He might close one door so that another far greater door can open. And here's the thing, it doesn't always look like what we think a breakthrough should look like. Sometimes it comes in disguise. Sometimes it's wrapped in challenges, setbacks, or even disappointment. But if you have eyes of faith, you will recognize it as the gift truly is. Let me give you an example. You may have been praying for financial provision, expecting it to come through your job, a business deal, or a specific investment. But God might send a completely unexpected blessing, a gift, a new connection, a chance meeting, or an opportunity you never considered. If you're too focused on your own expectations, you might miss it entirely. God's ways are always more creative, more abundant, and more perfect than ours. That's why it's so important to stay open and flexible. Be willing to receive God's blessings in the way He chooses to give them. Sometimes breakthroughs come in the form of people. Maybe someone you meet casually, someone you would never have thought could help you, becomes the key to your next big step. Maybe a friend, a stranger, a mentor, even someone who seemed like an enemy, at first ends up being God's instrument to bring your breakthrough. Don't be surprised when the answer to your prayers comes from unexpected sources. God can use anyone to bless you, and He often chooses to work in ways that challenge our expectations so that we see His power more clearly. Breakthroughs can also come through challenge. That's right. Sometimes the very obstacle you are facing is the pathway to your breakthrough. You may be going through a season of difficulty, disappointment, or waiting. You may be feeling stuck, overlooked, or frustrated. But God is using that very situation to position you for something amazing. What seems like a roadblock today may be the very thing that prepares you for the blessing tomorrow. God often takes what seems like a negative situation and transforms it into a launching pad for your next level. The key is to keep your eyes open and your heart ready. Don't be so fixed on how you think things should happen that you miss the way God is already working in your life. The unextraordinary, if you trust Him. The miracle you've been waiting for might not look like what you imagine, but it can be more powerful, more abundant, and more life-changing than you ever dreamed. God loves to surprise. He loves to show us that His ways are bigger than our ways and that His plans are far greater than our understanding. Another thing to remember is that timing plays a role in the unexpected nature of breakthroughs. Sometimes God delays the answer because He's lining up something that is even better than what you originally prayed for. Maybe the opportunity comes a little later than you anticipated, or it arrives in a way that you couldn't have planned. That's because God sees the bigger picture. He knows exactly what will work best for you, and He orchestrates everything perfectly. Trusting God in the timing and trusting Him in the direction is essential. Don't be discouraged by delays or by detours. Those are often the very signs that God is preparing something extraordinary just for you. Faith is what allows us to receive blessings from unexpected directions. Even when the path looks unclear, even when circumstances seem confusing, faith opens the door for God to move. When we believe, when we remain hopeful, when we stay patient, we are positioning ourselves to receive what God has already prepared for us. The breakthrough you are waiting for may come from a direction you never considered, but it will be exactly what you need. It will be perfect in timing, perfect in provision. So today, I want you to be encouraged. Don't limit God by your expectation. Don't be surprised when your breakthrough comes from a completely unexpected direction. Don't be frustrated if things don't happen the way you planned. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep moving forward in faith. God is already at work behind the scenes, orchestrating your life in ways that will leave you amazed. Remember this, the breakthrough you are waiting for may come from a friend, a stranger, a challenge, a closed door, or a completely unexpected situation. But it will come, and when it does, you will look back and say, wow, God knew exactly what he was doing. He exceeded my expectations. He surprised me with something far greater than I ever prayed for. That's the power of God's unexpected blessing. That's the power of divine intervention. That's the power of believing that God's plans are always bigger than our plans. So keep your heart open. Keep your eyes focused on His promises. And get ready to receive the breakthrough that may come from a direction you never expected, but what will change your life forever. God's timing is perfect. His plans are flawless, and His surprises are greater than anything you could imagine.
One of the most powerful truths in life is that your faith is the key that unlocks the door to God's blessings. It doesn't matter how many prayers you have said, how many plans you have made, or how many times you have hoped for change. If you don't have faith, the experience that God has prepared for you. Faith is more than just believing in God. It's trusting Him, expecting Him to act, and stepping into the unknown with confidence that He is already working on your behalf. Faith opens the door for divine surprises because it positions you to receive what you couldn't obtain through your own effort alone. You see, God delights in taking our faith seriously. When you believe, when you trust Him, even in difficult times, God responds. When you remain steadfast and hopeful, even when the circumstances seem impossible, God moves. Sometimes your breakthrough comes in a way you didn't even imagine, and your faith is what allows you to recognize it and embrace it fully. Some of the greatest stories in Scripture happened because someone had faith. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't know how it would happen, and they didn't understand the timing, but they believed anyway. Their faith opened the door for God to do what only He could do. Abraham believed God would give him a son, and even though the natural circumstances didn't make sense, God delivered. David believed he could defeat Goliath, and God orchestrated a victory that left everyone amazed. Your faith works the same way today. It doesn't matter how impossible things may seem, how delayed the breakthrough feels, or how hopeless the situation looks. Faith activates God's power in your life. Sometimes faith requires patience. Often we want immediate answers. We want to see results right away. We want the breakthrough to happen on our timeline, but faith teaches us to trust God's timing. Faith teaches us that just because we cannot see the full picture does not mean God isn't working behind the scenes. Faith allows us to endure delays and obstacles without losing hope. Faith keeps us moving forward, even when the path is uncertain, and faith keeps our hearts open to the surprises God has prepared. The amazing thing about faith is that it not only positions you for what you pray for, but it also allows God to exceed your expectations. Your faith can open doors you didn't even know existed. Sometimes the blessing you receive is not just a little better than what you asked for. It's exponentially greater. Maybe you prayed for a job, and God opens a door to a career that changes your entire life. Maybe you prayed for healing, and God restores not just your body, but your relationships, your finances, and your spirit. Your faith opens the door for miracles that you couldn't have imagined in your wildest dreams. Another important aspect of faith is that it requires action. Faith is not passive. It's not just saying, "I hope God will do this for me." Faith is stepping out, even when the way isn't clear. Faith is taking the first step toward the opportunity God is preparing. Faith is moving forward, even when you don't know how everything will work out. When you combine your belief with action, you position yourself to receive God's unexpected blessings. Your faith becomes the channel through which divine surprises flow into your life. Faith also transforms your perspective. When you have faith, you start seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for God to show up. You start seeing delays not as disappointments, but as divine preparations for something bigger. You start seeing closed doors not as rejection, but as a redirection toward greater favor. Faith shifts your focus from fear, doubt, and frustration to hope, expectation, and gratitude. And that shift is what allows you to recognize and receive the breakthroughs God has been sending all along. Even in moments of uncertainty, when life seems unpredictable, faith reminds us that God's plan is perfect. Faith allows you to walk confidently into the unknown, knowing that God is already there, working for your good. When you trust Him, when you remain hopeful, and when you believe in His promises, you activate the miraculous in your life. That's why your faith is so critical, because it opens the door for God to do things that defy logic, surpass expectations, and bring joy beyond measure. Let me encourage you today. Don't let doubt or fear shut the door to your breakthrough. Don't let impatience or frustration block God's favor. Keep believing, keep trusting, and keep expecting. Your faith is what allows God to bring forth the blessings, opportunities, and miracles that you never even thought to ask for. May surprise you, amaze you, and exceed everything you prayed for, but your faith is what makes it possible. Remember this: God is in the business of exceeding expectations. He loves to surprise us. He loves to bless us in ways that are beyond our imagination. But the key to receiving those surprises is faith. Your faith unlocks the door. Your hope keeps you moving forward, and your trust positions you for the miracles that are already on their way. So today, as you continue to pray, as you continue to hope, and as you continue to trust, hold fast to your faith. Keep believing in what God can do. Keep expecting the unexpected. Keep your heart open to the divine surprises that are coming. Because your breakthrough is closer than you think, and it's going to arrive in ways you didn't even imagine. But your faith will allow you to receive it fully, joyfully, and gratefully. Faith opens the door. Faith positions you. Faith brings the miracle. And when your faith meets God's plan, the result is always extraordinary, life-changing, and far beyond anything you could have ever dreamed of. Today, I want you to walk away with this truth. God is at work in your life, and His plans are far greater than anything you could imagine. He is sending breakthroughs that you didn't even pray for, blessings that will surpass your expectations, and opportunities that will open doors you never even thought existed. Remember, his plans exceed your expectation. What you see now, what you think you need, is only a small part of the greater plan God has for you. Even when your prayers seem unanswered, even when life doesn't go the way you planned, God is orchestrating something amazing behind the scenes. The breakthrough you're waiting for is coming, and it's going to be better than anything you asked for. Breakthroughs often come from unexpected directions. God doesn't always move the way we expect him to. Sometimes the very detours, delays, or challenges in your life are the stepping stones to something far greater. Be ready to receive surprises, even from places you never considered. Keep your heart open, because God has a way of showing up in the most unexpected moments, bringing favor, joy, and provision that will leave you amazed. And finally, your faith is what opens the door for God's miraculous work. Faith allows you to trust, believe, and hope even when the circumstances don't make sense. Faith positions you to receive the blessings, the miracles, and the divine surprises that God has been preparing just for you. Keep trusting, keep believing, keep expecting. So today, I want you to take a deep breath. Get ready, because God is moving on your behalf. He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating your life, aligning circumstances, and bringing favor from unexpected directions. The best is not just coming, it's already on its way. And when it comes, it will exceed your dreams, surpass your expectations, and bless your life in ways you never even thought possible. So stand strong. Keep the faith. And get ready to receive the miracles, the blessings, and the breakthroughs that God has already prepared for you. Your breakthrough is coming, and it's gonna be incredible.